got through the Lyme, and then boom, endometriosis, right?
Yeah. And that was like, I think, talk about like a PTSD moment of like having that, come up. And I found out that I had endo basically because I decided to freeze my eggs. And through the process of freezing my eggs, which weirdly, I was having all these symptoms of endo, and no one ever said endometriosis to me. I had ovarian cyst rupture. I was having this horrific pain on my left side. I'd even gone to the emergency room to St. John's in LA.
Mm.
And my pain was so bad in my left side, I was throwing up and I had a migraine. And the emergency room doctor put on my discharge papers that I needed to see a psychiatrist. And I was like, I cannot believe I'm back here, and this
Oh,
was not even 2 years ago. And I mean, I really thought about writing a letter to St. John. I didn't, but I wanted to. However, I, ended up through freezing my eggs, the hormones certainly irritated this cyst, this
mhm.
endometrioma on my left ovary. And it was my fertility doctor that was like, this is endometriosis. And I just couldn't believe I had polyps removed a year prior. I had an ectopic pregnancy before, which is a huge symptom of having endo. And no one ever strung these things together. And no one ever said, and I did pelvic floor PT, which is often not talked about. I did things to kind of heal or help with this pain or these symptoms, but no one ever said endometriosis. And it took, Dr. Hancock at Spring Fertility, and I swear she's an angel and she really took the time after we did my retrieval to see if this was in fact endo. And of course I shared with her I had an ectopic pregnancy, and she was like, you probably have endo in your fallopian tube. And then we did a test that was not comfortable
Mm.
to push dye through my tube. And in fact, it was blocked. And when I did have my surgery at the end of November, I did lose that left fallopian tube. I also had endo in the right side, but they cleared it, which I had no idea I had it there. And I did remove that cyst on the left side. I had a cyst on the right side and a tumor in my uterus, fibroid tumor that I didn't even know that I had. And granted, endo on my intestines, which explains a lot of the GI issues. And again, I was always treating this pain on my left side as a GI issue and
Mhm.
seeing, again, every specialist you could think of and trying every thing you could do for, obviously I kept getting SIBO, but SIBO and endo are linked and no
Yes.
one said it. And it still baffled me how in the medical field, like no one talks to each other and kind of pieces all these symptoms together and how much could be solved
Yeah.
if we look at the whole picture of our health and not just chase these specific symptoms.
It's wild to me that still this day and age with so many people going through young people going through things like endometriosis, Lyme, PCOS, chronic fatigue
Yeah,
syndrome, fibromyalgia, right? These mysterious conditions that people can't
totally.
seem that we still focus so much on the conventional side on specialties. And that you're
Yeah.
right, no one's talking to each other. They're just like, "Oh, go
Yeah,
see the gastroenterologist. No, go see the reproductive." And it's like, "Well, why
totally.
don't you guys get together and share and be like, oh, maybe it's both." Because the
Right.
body doesn't work like a machine of just like one thing at a time. And
Yeah.
disease doesn't work where it's just really, really just right there and that's it. It's like your
Yeah.
body's trying to compensate and keep you healthy all the time.
All the
Trillions
time.
of interactions every second are trying to keep you alive and healthy.
Yes.
And so